Okay, interesting. I'm gonna have to go back out and get some water. How are you doing today? Just taking a break? Just relaxing? I can't... Okay, I was afraid I was gonna have to jump into the water and get some. I think we have, besides this one, 5 more areas to do. No, I just got home from work. Mondays always haunt me with a headache for some reason. Having my dinner right now. Oh, okay. Well, I hope it's a good dinner. I hope work wasn't too hard. See, it's about like 11 o'clock in the morning for me, so I can never really gauge when somebody's coming in. So I've only been up for like 3 hours at this point. So I'm not really, I mean, I'm functioning, but I'm not fully functioning. Like, I feel like I function better on streams when I do them, like, really early in the morning, but, like, my brain doesn't always work, like, the first hour or two when I'm streaming. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Fair enough, I wanted to sleep in so bad today. Oh, me too. Okay, so we found the cat. He gets a little samurai hat. Yeah, I love sleeping in, but I feel like I don't get as many chances to sleep in. Usually it's only like Saturday, and if I'm having a bad like insomnia spell, maybe Sunday. I was like sometimes my sleep doesn't want to hang out with me sometimes, so I give myself Sunday sometimes. Am I more of a morning person? I'd argue I'm more of a night person. But I prefer working of a morning. Does that make sense? I prefer to do most of my stuff. I prefer to get all my work done of a morning, so I have more fun of a night. Cause like when I first started streaming, I tried to do it of a night, and then I just felt like, well, I wasted all that time and I have nothing to do. You feel that the same way? Yeah, yeah. Like I prefer doing everything of a morning. That way, like I have free time of a night. Otherwise, I'm just like, well, the day's done. I'm all done. And then the next morning, it's just like, well, I have to get all this work done before, and I just don't have enough time, and I can finish the work that I do in the afternoon and half the time in the morning. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I feel more productive when I do stuff of a morning, and then just have like the rest of the afternoon to do whatever. It always feels a little bit easier on me to do it that way. I do miss the sleep, though. If my company was smart, they would let me go home after lunch. Oh. No, I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. Why don't they cater more to our sleep schedules? Why don't they cater more to the way we want to function in society? It's not fair. Ah. Companies. There's a... Gosh, I can't think... Listen, most of the places that are around here, I'm like from like rural America, so like there's not many like big corporation jobs around here. It's mostly like cashier work and stuff like that. Well, that's a pretty picture. Wow, look at how much we cleaned up. Wow. But there's not many like corporate jobs here. If you want to get like an office job or something, you usually have to go out like a good hour away from home and stuff like that. So like, man, Progress, yeah, progress. Floating stuff. I'm gonna get the bigger backpack. I'm trying to get all these on. Well, you know what? I might get that one. Yeah, collects trash around the place. What does this give me? Allows placing hover and sprinklers without the need to collect them beforehand. That'd be useful. Instantly destroys mud and grows plants. Ooh. But these require a lot. I almost want to ignore these and just get the sprinter shoes and then focus on everything else. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to worry about it anymore because like I'm on a that sucks. I have to drive around 30 minutes to work looking for a place closer to it. But man, a small apartment costs half my income and I work in IT. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of, it's really weird. Oh, I found the pond. It's very weird in my area because like everybody wants to stay at home, but like there's literally no jobs around here so that people want to stay at home. Like if you want to work, you really have to go out and like get a job somewhere else, and that usually requires moving. If you want to stay here, you're probably going to have to work 2 different jobs or get state assistance. Unfortunately, I'm on state assistance. But that's more because of like health issues and stuff like that. But like, I know so many people around here, like people even with like higher jobs. Like I know people that were like working like as like CSAs or even like anything with like a college degree or anything like that. Unless you're like a doctor or something. Like even the teachers around here are working like double jobs like at Walmart or something like that just to like make ends meet. Or getting assistance. It's very wild here. It sucks that it's that way, sadly. Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird how it is. Like I'm very lucky that I have a like the income I get is enough to like take care of stuff, especially with my partners and like the way we live. I'm glad that I have enough. But like it's really wild that like you're working and then you still don't get it. Okay, well I filled up the pond and now I can't get the water back out. I'm floating on the water. I'm floating on the water. I mean, not gonna lie, I'd rather get state assistance than get a second job on top of my full-time job where I have to pay half of it to taxes anyway. Yeah, apparently I'm Jesus, yeah. Like, I get that. I honestly wouldn't rather, I'd rather work than have state assistance, but I also wouldn't want to have a second job either. I wouldn't mind having a job. Like, I kind of did streaming because I wanted to see if I could, like, do something, like, more creative and see if I could earn money from it. Eventually, I'm not worried about the money right now because, like I'm worried if I get, like, if I start, like, getting finances and stuff from Steam, like, too early that, like, I'll lose my state assistance. So, like, I'm doing that whole affiliate thing, like, really slow. But, like, I wouldn't mind getting, like, making this a job. Like, in the future. Like, going into writing. My partner's a writer, and, it's been slow for them. It hasn't really provided much of an income, but, like doing a creative job or something like that, where I have, like, the freedom to do it. Like, especially because I have the opportunity to try. But I couldn't imagine doing 2 jobs. Like, that's... Oh. Is this Tuk Tuk? No, this is the fox statue. Okay. That is a really cool looking fox. Okay. So, let's see. I keep talking about Tuk Tuk, but there's supposed to be a repair Tuk Tuk, and I don't know what Tuk Tuk is. I'm doing 1.5 jobs, and it makes me feel already pooped out. I agree with... I understand that. I used to work at Walmart, but my pain kind of was, like, hitting me hard, so I had to quit. And then I did work as a Listen, I don't even know why I bothered. I tried working as a, I worked as a, one of those call center people. I worked there. I suppose right now would be a nice try to experiment with other things. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm trying it. But I tried working at a call center for a bank, and this was before I started taking like antidepressants or depressants or anxiety medication, and boy, I was not ready. Though I feel like most creative jobs are out there are hard to make a profit out of. Yeah, yeah, it is. Like you really, like I'm not tech. Like I'm technologically, I know a little bit of tech to a degree, and so a lot of this I'm learning like slowly. Like the most I learned was like from a web design course back in high school, and that was like nearly 20 years ago. So I'm having to learn a lot of this like off on my own, and it's just taking me. I'd rather be homeless. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I've met a lot of people who are homeless, and I would rather not be homeless. I'd rather not be homeless. I've seen that situation, and I'm just like, no, no. I kind of rather not deal with that. I calls. Oh, you were talking about the call center customer service. You're mad for attempting that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But it paid. That was what I was thinking. It paid good money, and I was able to like get good like transportation up there. Like I was going to carpool with somebody so we could like save on the gas bills. No, no, that is terrible. That is a terrible job. Oh my god. Like even with the anxiety and depression medication, I don't think I could have survived that. I don't think I could have survived that. Listen, there was some very funny stuff that happened there, but there was also a lot of people threatening to kill me or like kill like other people. So that's Tuk Tuk. Tuk Tuk is the vehicle. Gotcha. I wish it explained to me that it was a vehicle. Okay, I think I cleared off the area, so now we just gotta revitalize the trees. But yeah, Can I tell you my favorite story from like when I went to the call center? It was back when I was still in training. Um, there's actually two. There's two like stories. Listen, it's been at least 15 years. It's been 15 years, so like the NDA is dead by now. But basically, I had a call from. I'll tell the simpler one first. It was a call from somebody, and they were like, "I lost my check. Can you please help me find it?" And I said, "We can try to find it. If you happen to know the number, we'll be happy to like cancel the check and make sure nobody gets a hold of it." And they were like, "Yeah, I happen to know the number right here." And so they started calling it off. They started calling off the number, right? And halfway through, they were like, "You know what? Cancel that. Cancel that check thing." Because I'm literally holding the check right here in my hand. I don't know what they were smoking, but apparently it was so good that they forgot that they were holding the check right there in their hand. It was great. Like they were really nice. They were apologizing and everything, but like, oh man, that was great. The second one was now this one was the one I think was actually in the training. I'm not sure about the other one. The other one might have been in training too. But this one was a woman who called to talk about some strange stuff that was going on when her husband went to Las Vegas for a business trip. And there was some strange finance. There was some strange like money changes going on there, saying that her husband had like paid for 2 hotel bills and stuff like that, paid for like 2 bedrooms and stuff like that at the hotel, and she wasn't there with him. So we had to go and check in, and it was like, yeah, we can see that's a thing, and we can confirm it. Yeah. And she was like super sweet. She was like, oh, okay. Could you see if you could cancel that for me and stuff like that? And we were like, sure, just hang on just a second. Oh God, I wish we had popcorn. I wish we had popcorn because we had to put it on pause. You know we can mute the, so I don't know if you know when you go into the call center. I mean, I'm sure you know, but if you are talking to somebody in the call center, we can still hear you when we mute the phone. So when we put you on mute and you hear the elevator music or whatever, or the classical, we can still hear you over the phone. And then all of a sudden, we're just doing all of our stuff, and this really sweet person that we were talking to on the phone is just all of a sudden just like, I'm going to kill that fucker. I'm going to kill that man. When he gets home, I'm going to kill that man. That motherfucker. We're losing our minds. Like, she is just cussing him all to hell and back. Just threatening this man like crazy, talking the worst shit about him. Just like saying everything under the sun, making all the threats possible. We're losing our minds. Like, people from some of the other from like the other boxes, like the other people in the call, were like they got done with their calls. They're like, "What's going on over there?" And they came and they plugged in. They plugged into our phone lines just so that they could hear what was going on. So there were like about 4 or 5 of us just listening in on this woman screaming and ranting about her husband. So there was so many people just crowded around laughing at this woman. And like we all felt sorry for her, but we were just like, yeah, we understand. But the whole situation was hilarious. We had to like calm down after like about 10 or so minutes. And then we finally got on the line and we're like, "Hi, we were able to take care of that. We were able to take care of that for you. We got rid of that one hotel bill for you." And immediate mood change. She was just like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate it." And we were like, "You're welcome. Thank you so much for calling." And she's like, "You're welcome. Thank you so much." And then like, God, I swear the comedic timing after that, she was just like, "Oh, I gotta go now. My husband's pulling in right now. Bye." Oh no. Her husband pulled in right as soon as we were getting off the line. Like, God, to be a fly on that wall. It would have been great. Oh. like those are my 2 favorite stories from that moment. Oh my God. It was so great. Listen, I would never go back to like the call center, but that story was so great to me. Too bad it didn't happen. God, I wish it did. I wish it happened during the call. I wish it did. Man, I wish there was a popcorn machine just like right inside the call center. There's so much like wild stuff that goes on there. Like, it's insane. And like the way the call center worked is that we worked like all across the US, so it wasn't like specific to any one like state or anything, so nobody knew where we were coming from. So I got to talk to people all over the place. And so I got to hear a lot of weird stories, and I got to hear a lot of we basically had like our breaks. Every time that we would go on break and stuff, we'd vent about like the weird shit that would happen during those conversations. Got a lot of like for some reason there's a lot of people that like to like do weird sexual shit on those calls. I don't really understand it. Like, call us and then connect us to like a dirty hotline and stuff like that. I don't know why that's a thing, but that is apparently a thing. It happened like several times during the course of like the little bit of time that I was there. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it either. But it was a thing. And then a bunch of guys that just wanted to hear like the pretty lady's voice, and every time that they would hear a man, they would immediately hang up and then call again to try to get a lady. I know there was a couple of stories like that too. It's weird. Like, I know a lot of people talk about how weird the internet is now. No, we've always been like people have been always weird. Like even back during the phone age. Some men are desperate. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's I, I'm sure there were some. Listen, I hang around with a lot of like older women now. So I've seen some freaky older women too, but it does feel like there's a lot more men that do this weird stuff like over the phone. Like I feel like it's very weird because like growing up I mostly saw it from the men, but now that I've like hang out more with like older women, I'm just like, damn, some of you women are just as bad as the men. like like I feel like it's more common. It's definitely more common with men, but I've seen some very freaky women too. I've met some very freaky women. But yeah, I don't know. Life's weird. Life's weird like that. I'm sure you've got some weird IT stories too. I don't know. I don't know what kind of. I don't know what part of IT you work in, but I've always heard that IT is like a very interesting field. I mean, I guess we can't. I don't know if like call centers really. Like mine was more like the financial side, less than the IT side. Like we had to worry about like other things than like the tech support. But either way, people are weird about money and technology just in general. I work in invoice management is what I would call it, I guess. Ah, yeah. Would you say that there's less people in invoice management or more? Like what invoices like makes me think it's more like paperwork and stuff like that, but I'm not entirely sure. As somebody who's never worked with like invoices specifically. Like I've worked a lot with money, and then there was like I attempted to work as a I attempted to go into education, and then that didn't work out. I'm just missing a single college course, and then I could have gotten my elementary education degree. Um, but my college switched things around, and I wasn't able to complete that. The worst thing that happened during my time was our system sending emails to customers every 2 seconds. Some guy received around 800,000 emails for not paying an invoice. Oh no! Oh, that's terrible. I would have lost my mind. We have a lot of insurances that use our software. Ah, I see. That's I'm trying to figure out how it even works like that, but I'm guessing it's just like the way the computer like set it up. It's just that it just kept sending it and didn't realize that it was supposed to send it a specific time frame, or like the time frame got messed up. Either way, that's wild. Every 2 seconds. Not sure if the guy actually got them all. I assume the email service just gave up at some point. Yeah. Yeah, God, that would be scary though, to like wake up one morning and then just have like a whole bunch of email messages about a single one. There's a send a reminder and X days options. We have one of the customers set it to oh no! And apparently 0 meant every 2 seconds. Oh gosh. That's, oh wow. That, oh no. I will never complain about those options ever again. I always wondered why it always had like a specific, like it's, I think it's what, like to every like day or every 2 days as the minimum, or like hour. I guess I know now. I guess that explains it. Like every time you get like an update or something, it's just like remind me in so much amount of time. I understand it now. I guess it makes sense, but like I never really thought about it. Yeah, so the place I worked at, we fixed it by changing 0 to meaning no reminders. Yeah, yeah, that's, huh. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. See, that's what I would think by 0 anyway, so it makes sense. But man, that's still wild. I think the like the bank that I worked at, I don't think it was happening. I mean, I don't think the lawsuit was going on at the time, but the bank that I was working at, eventually did have a lawsuit going on, and like I think the practice was going on, because I do remember like asking questions about it. Yeah, stuff like that happens occasionally here. Since we got around 60 developers and only 2 testers. Oh yeah, R&D and stuff like that. I get you. I get you. But the thing that was going on at our bank was that we were doing the like all the transactions that you did were based on like the money, whichever one was getting, like whichever one was like the most expensive went in through first. And so like somebody would buy something, say at the beginning of the day, that was really cheap and stuff like that. So like you'd buy all the cheapest stuff first, and then you would put your money in, and then you would buy like the expensive stuff at the end of the day. We wouldn't go based off of the date or like the time. Our bank instead would go and get that, like the last thing that you bought that was super expensive, and then, oh no, your check didn't cover it until later. I guess we're going to charge you a fee, you know? And that was like a little scam. It ended up being like a big scam, a big controversy at the time, and they got sued about it eventually. But that was the thing that was going on. And I remember having to work with that, and I was so confused about it, but they kept telling us it was just customer policy. I never understood it, but then the lawsuit came, and I was like, oh, that explains it. But again, this has been like 10 or 20 years ago, so I don't feel bad talking about it now. Yeah. I think there was like several different banks doing it at the time. I won't say the specific bank because like I don't want to get into too much trouble, but I do remember that being a thing. I do remember that being a thing. And I know it wasn't the only one doing it at the time. I would have thought that all that stuff is automated and small amounts just go through without human checking. I mean, it is mostly automated, but basically what it was is that it would automate it instead of based on the time. They would at that point instead of basing it off the time, they would base it on how much money you spent. So like the money that you spent would go in first, and the largest number of money that you spent would go in at the start, and then the lowest money would go in last, and then the money that you put in, like your checks, would go in at the very, very end. If I recall correctly. I don't really know how the checks went in, but I know like the amount that you spend. Like if you spent like 1,000, like at the very end of the day, it would go in first, and then that like 5 cent, that like 50 cent like thing that you bought at like the dollar store, like that early that morning, would go in like at the very end. So like it was like they set the computers up to do it like that, instead of just going based off of the time. And I don't think they do it anymore. It was a thing though for a while. And again, I don't think it was the only bank doing that at the time. It was just something that I remember them like having a lawsuit over. Which is why I don't bank with them anyway. I didn't bank with them before, but I definitely don't bank with them now.